Oh, wow. So, my sister actually got these for selling the most tickets, or actually selling the most classes at Star Wars. So I got my BB-8 swag 3D glasses, baby. Yeah. I would also prefer the Kylo Ren glasses, but I can live with this. So in this this video of me talking Star Wars, we're discussing Phasma, and now let's be clear, why the hell was she so underused? What happened? I mean, I get that they've said she's having a bigger role in the first movie, or excuse me, in the next movie. But why'd you have to basically diminish her role so much in this first movie? I mean, what do we see her? We see her in the very beginning during the assault. She's got a line of dialogue. Hey, look, I look imposing. She confronts Finn. She goes over Finn's brief back history. It's like, nope, this is his first offense. Excuse me. We briefly see her behind Hux when he's giving the speech about the Star Killer. And before they destroy the Republic. Then the next time we see her, she's basically, they kidnap her and use her to deactivate the shield, holding her at gunpoint, which kind of but messes up the character a little bit from where she's supposed to be portrayed as this head commanding officer of all these stormtroopers. And she agreed to, I mean, yeah, sure, she didn't want to die, but the guy who takes on Finn on the fight on the planet near Maz's castle is more badass in this movie than she is. Hell, there's a whole thing going online about who is this mysterious stormtrooper who fought Finn. And really, one of the better ideas I heard is if you wanted to make it work, want to actually give her purpose and make her an understandable badass in this, should have made that her role. Should have made that her moment to really actually show she's a badass. Her kick Finn's ass. And all he had to do was say a line like, you're joking, I'm the one who trained you, boy, and then just get the baton and go all out and kick his butt. But no, instead we get Phasma, and she's supposed to be this Boba Fett kind of character, and she's not. She's a cool-looking character, and I am certain she will be more badass in the next movie. But why? Why was she underused? You see, I would assume that the reason just for the story purposes, because this is reintroducing us to the Star Wars universe, the new Star Wars trilogy and series of movies we're getting, all that. So you can only do so much. But the idea that I just expressed that's been expressed before, it was a perfectly solid idea to use that way. You didn't have to underuse her. So why was she underused that way? We got to get established to these new characters, obviously. We already know the old characters. We just got to bring them back into the fray. Kylo Ren, he's one of the main characters, so it makes sense why we get him. Hux, he shows up. And frankly, I don't think Hux is going to be... Hux is like the least interesting of all the new characters. Phasma looks like she has so much going for her. All this interesting look. She's a female stormtrooper. We haven't seen that before, and there's even another one we see in the film later on. So that it shows not only diversifying, just having different individuals, not clones, but also having different genders as stormtroopers. It's the first time we've actually established that women can be stormtroopers. That's great, I think. And having a female villain, think about it, in Star Wars, not one female villain at all in the movies, mind you. In the TV series and stuff, there's been plenty of female villains. We haven't had any female villains. Female villains, I like female villains, man. They can be just as devious and manipulative, even more so than men or male villains can. Well, female villains, when done right, are far more interesting, I think, than male villains. And that's not a sexist thing. That's just how well written a character can be, coming from a different viewpoint as a woman to a man. Because that is a bit of a difference in gender. We do tend to think differently as genders, and therefore seeing a villain come from that standpoint, as opposed to the standpoint of how a male's perspective tends to be, is quite interesting to see. But apart from that, I mean, I know you got to establish her just give her like establishing character, or just a few moments of getting an understanding of who this person is. But we didn't honestly get that much. We got what did we get? We got her. She's Chrome, so she's the one in charge, more or less. She's in charge of Finn. She's got a division. She just talks about how this is a first defense. And yeah, she lets the shield down at gunpoint. For Stormtrooper, supposed to be one among the best of the best, and supposed to be like, does not fear anything. You sure were compliant with a gun to your head. Yeah, what? Not only is she underused, I think they kind of ruined her character a little bit. Actually thinking on it and thinking what because I just came back again from watching it a third time. And again, I love the movie, I do. But yeah, they kind of ruined the concept of her character by that entire scene right there. Now again, if they had used her in the fight with Finn instead of that one guy, that could have compensated for that, because it would have established that she is a badass. And I'm certain she is a badass. I'm certain we'll see that in the next movie. But it is what it is on that front. But again, back to the question at hand: why? Why did they underuse her? And the only thing I can think of in the script is that there was just so much going on that even as a new character, a new villain being introduced, they can only do so much with her. So they had to limit her the way they had to, and the character suffers because of the limitations they put on her, at least in my opinion. If you think differently, by all means, I'd like to hear how you think differently than that. But a lot of the general consensus from the majority of moviegoers is that she is, or was, I should say, underused in this movie. And again, I'm certain she will be more badass. I know we're getting far more of her in the next movie, episode 8. Whatever it's going to be titled. I'll be interested to see what the new title for the episode 8 is. And episode 9 when we get to that. Which that's less than a year and a half away, by the way. That's amazing. We got 2 Star Wars movies in the span of a year and a half coming. We got one coming in, you got Rogue One coming in December, and then May is Star Wars episode 8. So I'm happy. I used to happy. But Phasma, man, yeah, it was a missed opportunity, I think. Again, all you had to do was replace that one Stormtrooper with her, and it would have saved her. It would have saved her character in my mind. That's the only thing you had to do. Well. It is what it is. If Phasma's still here, Phasma's still cool for what she represents and what she's supposed to be. But in terms of the movie, she's kind of a throwaway character. And I think it really is just that there was so much that they had to put in there that they just had to throw her to this a bit more to the wayside of it, and that's unfortunate. But what are you going to do? You have to make decisions for moviegoings, and no movie is 100% perfect. Some movies come close. And I don't mean by Rotten Tomatoes, I just mean general opinion. Most people will find flaws in even the most perfect of movies. People will find flaws in The Godfather. And that is considered one of the perfect movies ever. But I digress. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you'd like us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. So, who will be up either tomorrow or the next day? I haven't decided what the bout will be. I'll look up my list and pick one from there. It'll probably just be a simple one, just get back in the swing of non-Star Wars ones. Because I just did a whole month of Star Wars. Actually, more than a month. How many videos did I do? 5, 6... Actually, I'm on... One second. I'm actually checking how many Star Wars videos I did. And that's not including the one I did last week. Actually, no, it is including the one I did last week. Let me rephrase that. Because, that one was a Star Wars one. So, let me see here. I know I did the Anakin versus Kylo. I did Grievous versus Fulgor. I did Yoda versus Plagueis, Sidious, Luke, Boba Fett, and Vader versus Gandalf. So, I did like 7 or 8. Wow. yeah, I'll be honest, as much as I love Star Wars, it's going to be good to get out of the Star Wars fray for a little bit. So, yeah. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, folks, and beep, beep, out. Love 'em.